Is a live special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 24th day of August, 2021, or October 14th, 1949, whichever you prefer. This potentially is it. We've made the jig slide for the slideshow. The New York Yankees, with a win today, can win the World Series. And what happened in real life? So far, the first 4 games have gone in order of how they went in real life. They split in New York. The Yankees won Game 1, the Dodgers in Game 2. We came to Brooklyn. They went to Brooklyn. The Yankees won Game 3 and Game 4. So far, so real. It's almost as real as the fake grass you're about to see on the screen. News today for the Yankees. Eddie Lopat was supposed to get the call for Game 5. He woke up this morning and said to Casey Stengel, "I'm not ready." He only had 90 pitches and was marked with an S, if you're interested in the game mechanics. So the Yankees could not use Lopat on full rest. He will go Game 6 if the Dodgers can force the series back to the Bronx. So Fred Sanford is on the mound for the Yankees. The Dodgers season rests on the right arm of Don Newcomb, the rookie who pitched the pennant clincher in St. Louis and won the only game the Dodgers have won so far in this series. Game 2 at Yankee Stadium is on full rest. He can go and will go today. It is raining here in Brooklyn as we get started. It says light rain in 64. And so that's the scene set. The Yankees win. They're the world champions. The Dodgers, like the Phil Collins song, just want one more night. As Retro Sports Network proudly presents the 1949 World Series. Live from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York, it is Game 5 between the American League champion New York Yankees and the National League champions Brooklyn Dodgers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast in the world for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Hello there, Tribe fan, Guardian of the Galaxy and all, and John Goodell, how are you? This could be it. There is a hanging in the air of excitement if you are a New York Yankee fan. If you're a Dodger fan with goats and all that, well, this is the last game at Ebbets Field for 1949 anyway, because if the series does get extended, it moves back to the Bronx. And so Don Newcomb is in charge of saving the Dodgers season. He already has done in this World Series what he could not do in real life, which is win a World Series game. He is 23 years old, a fastball pitcher at 89, and a fly ball pitcher. And as we put up the right slide for you, he was the winner in Game 2, 7 innings, 12 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3, but it was good enough, and that's all there is to it. And this will be the order. Oops. Did I seriously go through all those stats and had that slide up there? Yes, apparently I did. This will be what the Yankees will send up as they try to clinch their world championship. Phil Rizzuto leads off at short. Jerry Coleman will bat second and play second. Joe DiMaggio's got a big smile on his face for a reason. He's in center field. He'll hit third. Tommy Henrich is at first. He'll clean up. Yogi Berra behind the plate will bat fifth. With the righty Newcomb on the mound, Gene Woodling will bat sixth and play left field. Bobby Brown is at third base, and he might be on call for a few Dodger fans who pass out today, being a cardiologist. He will bat seventh and play third. Hank Bauer will bat eighth and play right field. And Fred Sanford was as surprised as anybody when he got to the ballpark to realize that he would be the starter for the Yankees today. He also doesn't understand why everyone asks him about the big one and Elizabeth. His wife's name is Janice, and his big one is his little boy. So he doesn't understand why he keeps calling him Damon. So Fred Sanford with the start today for the Yankees because Eddie Lopat could not go. Because I forgot to show you this earlier, 7 innings for Newcomb in Game 2, 12 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. So Jamie's got his Dumont TV dialed in. True story. In 1949, if you had a television set and got any TV stations at all, they all showed the World Series. ABC, CBS, NBC, and Dumont all had the rights to show the World Series. I think that ended in 50. Of course, no kinescope exists of this game. Defensively for the Dodgers in this must-win game for them, Gene Hermansky a 4 and a 6 in left. Duke Snyder a 9 and an 8 in center. Carl Furillo was an 8 and a 10 in right. Spider Jorgensen is a 3 at third. Pee Wee Reese is a 9 at short. Jackie Robinson is an 8 at second. Gil Hodges is a 9 at first. Roy Campanella a 9 and a 6 behind the plate. And Don Newcomb is an 8 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Not only did you not have to deal with Joe Buck, as Todd B says, in 1949, I think Jack was still working for Oklahoma City. The Drillers or something like that. He didn't become part of the Cardinal broadcast until 54, working with Harry Carey. Harry Carey! So Rizzuto is 4 for 17 on the World Series. With an RBI, he has scored 3 times and walked once. And for the Dodgers, it is Newcomb who won them the pennant against St. Louis. I think for Brooklyn, this is the first true elimination game they have faced in the 49 season. But 3 games to 1 down is not impossible. You just got to worry about today. Yeah, I can't believe how much he undersold it. They asked Joe Buck about the Tyree catch, and he said they just couldn't believe it. He was just too stunned. Pitch to Scooter to start Game 5. A ground ball, base hit left side. So Rizzuto is on with a single. And that brings up Jerry Coleman, who was also 4 for 17 in this World Series, with a solo shot. Has scored twice, grounded into 2 double plays, walked twice, and struck out once. Leashes, especially for the Dodgers, will be short. Coleman drops one down. Newcomb throws to first. Robinson covering. Rizzuto moves up. 1 out for DiMaggio. Joel is at 385, 5 for 13 through the first 4 games. He has a triple. A monster home run he hit in Game 4 and has driven in 3. 2 of those were with the bases loaded walk. He's walked 6 times in this series. And so DiMaggio's home run has the Yankees on the precipice of a World Series win. It was the lone run in what would have been, for the timelines concerned, yesterday's ball game. Pitch to DiMaggio, walked him. Newcomb can't get behind again like this. That's his first walk. Here's Henrik. Tommy is 3 for 15. He has doubled, homered, also drawn 2 bases loaded walks, and driven in 4. The Yankees are manufacturing runs yesterday, or Game 4 was the first time that the winner of a game didn't score 7. Newcomb from the stretch. Walked them, and they're loaded. For Yogi Berra with 1 out. Yogi, that 3 for 17 doesn't look very good. He's in 176 in this World Series, but he had a homer against Newcomb in Game 2. He has driven in 2 and scored 4 times and walked 1. So the Yankees have them loaded with 1 out in a game that will give them the World Series. Berra, base hit right field. Rizzuto scores. DiMaggio will try for home. Ferrillo's got a good arm. The throw, Campanella, yes, they got him! Oh, baby! Ferrillo had a good throw. DiMaggio with a head-first slide, and Campanella had the ball. The Yankees get a run, but they can't get 2 yet. And it's those little things that add up at the end. We'll see if that hurts the Yankees. Not as fast with the bone spurs, no. And for the record, Ferrillo had a 38% chance of throwing him out. So, you got to do that in games like this. Woodling only played in Game 2. 2 for 5 against Newcomb with a double and an RBI and a run scored. First out at home, not at Cool. No, it's the second out. Second out. And the computer sent him, not I, so. Pitch to Woodling. Got him, and Newcomb gets out of it. Oh. So how about that? So after the Yankees threatened to score more than 1, all they get is 1 on 2 hits. As Woodling looked at strike 3 on the curveball. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. The Yankees draw first blood. Here come the Dodgers. And before we show the lineup, let's tell you about Fred Sanford. Again, he was not the scheduled starter for Game 5. It was supposed to be Eddie Lopat. But Lopat got to the park today and told Casey Stengel, I don't think I can go. I can give you 4 or 5 innings, but I don't think I can get you 6 or 7. And Casey said, I'll see you in the Bronx. So Fred Sanford is on the hill. Fred is 29 years old. He is a fastball pitcher at 89 and a fly ball pitcher. He went in Game 1 in relief of Vic Raschi and had no decision. So full rest he has. 4 2/3 innings against the Dodgers in Game 1, 2 hits. A run it was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. And nailing down the win for Raschi. And this will be the lineup that Sanford faces. It's a right-handed pitcher, so the Dodgers have the right-handed hitters in the game. Pee Wee Reese leads off at short. Carl Ferrillo in right will bat second. Duke Snyder, who is so due for a hit, even Ricky and Lucy think he's overdue. He's in center field. Jackie Robinson cleans up at second. Gil Hodges at first will bat fifth. Roy Campanella behind the plate will go sixth. Spider Jorgensen at third will bat seventh. Oops. You know, it doesn't help to do the graphics if you don't show them. Pee Wee Reese leads off at short. Carl Ferrillo is in right field. He'll bat second. Duke Snyder, again, he's overdue. He's in center field. He'll bat third. Jackie Robinson has had a good series. He cleans up at second base. Gil Hodges at first will bat fifth. Roy Campanella will catch and bat sixth. Again, with the righty on the mound for the Yankees, and the Spider Jorgensen at third, batting seventh. And Gene Hermansky in left, batting eighth, with Dandy Don Newcomb who allowed that run in the top of the first, and that is how the Dodgers will line up. There. I think we got all the buttons pressed, right? Yes, you can see the game. Defensively for the Yankees, Gene Woodling is a 3 and a 3 in left. Joe DiMaggio is a 10 and an 8 in center. Hank Bauer is a 3 and a 5 in right. Newcomb, by the way, threw 23 pitches in his half of the first. Bobby Brown is a 4 at third. Phil Rizzuto a 10 at second. Short, rather. Jerry Coleman a 4 at second. Tommy Henrik a 3 at first. Yogi Berra a 10 and a 10 behind the plate. And Fred Sanford is a 2 on the mound, a .905 fielding percentage. Pee Wee is 2 for 16 in the World Series with 4 RBI, 3 walks, and 2 runs scored. His given name, by the way, is Harold. And I didn't know this. I wonder if you guys did or not. He was scouted and almost signed in the late 30s by the Boston Red Sox, according to Wikipedia. But the Red Sox, in their infinite wisdom, which could fill a thimble, sent Joe Cronin, their shortstop and manager, to scout Reese. And so when Cronin gets to see Pee Wee from Louisville, Kentucky, Cronin realizes he's scouting his replacement, which, in the words of IU Mike, was not cool. And so Cronin downplayed Pee Wee's skill set. And so the Red Sox did not sign him. He hung around. Branch Rickey and company looked at him and went, the Red Sox are idiots. They signed Pee Wee Reese, and the rest is history. Pitch to Pee Wee. There's a fly ball to left. Woodling going back in the corner, 1 out. Carl Furillo has had a good series. 5 for 18, 278, 2 doubles, and 2 runs scored. Furillo hits a ground ball to third. Brown across the way, 2 out. So Sanford, again, with the emergency start for Lopat, seems to be settling in rather quickly here. Duke Snyder has walked 5 times. That's the good thing. The bad news is he's 0 for 13 with an RBI. Pitch. Struck him out. So Sanford got him on a 2-2 curve on the inside corner. The Dodgers go in order. The Yankees lead Game 5, 1-0. So I'll bring up Bobby Brown, Hank Bauer, and Fred Sanford to face Newcomb here in the second. Brown went 0 for 4 against Newcomb in Game 2 with an RBI and a strikeout. Newcomb deals. There's a fly ball, left center field. Hermansky, 1 out. We've still not seen Hildo nor the Goats yet. Hank Bauer at 375. No homers. He has 6 hits in the series, which is great for a 4-game set. And 3 RBI. Newcomb's pitch. In the left field. Hermansky goes back a step or 2. 2 out. So here's Sanford. Fred 1 for 2 in Game 1. He singled and struck out. Newcomb's pitch. There's a chopper to third. Jorgensen on the wet grass throws, and that will retire the side. So the Yankees go in order in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Ebbets Field. 1-0 New York. So Robinson, Hodges, and Campanella to face Sanford here. Jackie, 3 for 15 in the World Series. He had a bases-clearing triple in the top of the first in Game 1 And then the Yankees have figured out a way to shut him down after that. Somebody for Brooklyn needs to step up and be the hero. Pitch to Robinson is a pop-up. Brown will make the catch. Don't worry, we're here. So the TV camera pans to Hilda and the goats. And Hilda says a few words under her breath when she takes a look at that scoreboard out in right center field. Here's Hodges. 267, a triple, and 3 RBI. Lopat in Game 6, if the Dodgers win, will go for the Yankees. And the Dodgers are just taking this one batter at a time right now. Gill in the right field. Bauer in the corner. Makes the catch. 2 out. Here's Campanella. Roy 2 for 15. Not only do the Dodgers have a ton on the bench, he has doubled, driven in a run, scored, walked, and struck out twice. Articles, of course, in the Brooklyn Eagle about why Campanella didn't get sent home in Game 3. And Roy admitted to the press that I just missed the sign. They sent me, and I didn't see it. One of those, their third base coach is going, go, 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 and Roy said, I heard no, no, no. Pitch to Roy in the left field. Back goes Woodling. Makes the catch in left center, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, it's the Yankees 1, the Dodgers nothing. Midlife Crisis is hoping that the World Series goes to tomorrow. Twitch every now and again as the sound cut in and out. Sorry about that. Nothing I can do. So trying to listen while at work. But he's going to have to bow out. I'll catch Game 5 tomorrow on YouTube. Go Dodgers. Not many Yankee fans. Is any one of you watching this live rooting for the Yankees? I'm not had anybody, say outside of Lorenzo, watching from whatever skybox he's in because it's his 2 teams. Lots of Dodger fans for this, but really I've not heard anyone say they were rooting for the Yankees. Newcomb's opening 9 on 30 pitches. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Rizzuto singled and scored to start the game. The lone Yankee run in the first. And he got him. He got him with a 1-2 fastball in the inside corner. For the first out, brings up Coleman. Jerry, sacrifice bunt. Really? Wow. His first time up. Jamie is a fan of whoever plays the Yankees. I think that pretty much is everybody here. Pitch to Coleman. There's a ground ball, base hit. Hermansky throws it back in. 1 out for DiMaggio, who walked. Newcomb needs to be careful. He can give up a couple more runs, but if he starts losing control, and he shouldn't, then his day's going to be short. Pitch to Joe. There goes Coleman to throw down to Robinson, and Jerry has stolen the base. Had a 59% chance, swiped the bag. Newcomb kicks the mud out of his cleats in the rain. And it's a 1-strike count to DiMaggio. Joe struck him out. He got him to swing and miss on an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 out for Henrik, who walked his first time up. So imagine being Don Newcomb, a rookie for the Dodgers, and handed the ball in an elimination game. Nuke deals. Walked him. So Henrik is walked for the second time today, and that'll bring up Yogi Berra, who had the RBI single to score Rizzuto in the first. It is a cool day, 64 degrees, as you would expect in the middle of October. And the wind is blowing in at 5 from right center. So if you're looking at the Schaefer ad on that scoreboard, Old Glory is blowing in just a bit. Berra. Base hit right center field. To the wall. Snyder gets it. Coleman scores. Henrik is on third. The Yankees lead game 5, 2-0. That brings up Gene Woodling, who Newcomb struck out his first time up. Yogi has driven in both the runs for New York today. So Woodling is 0 for 1. Banta is warming now for the Dodgers. Pitch to Woodling. There's a line drive base hit right field. Henrik will score. Berra will round third. Ferrillo's gonna throw. He's already thrown out one runner. He's trying for 2. They need that run at the plate. Not gonna get him. Not gonna get him. Woodling has a 2-run base hit, and it's 4-0 New York. And there is murmuring in the crowd like you would not believe. They'll give Newcomb Brown, but time is running short for the Dodger rookie. Newcomb deals. Ground ball to third. Jorgensen across the way, but the damage is done. Woodling drives home 2. Berra drives home 1. The Yankees get 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the third inning. It's the Yankees 4, the Dodgers nothing. So Fred Sanford, again, he didn't understand the jokes about why is he in the big one and who the heck is Elizabeth. My wife's name is Junie. Has been handed a 4-run lead in Game 5. He'll face Jorgensen, 2 for 7. Has singled twice, scored twice, grounded into a double play, and walked 4 times. Sanford's pitch. There's a pop-up into left field. Woodling will make the catch, 1 out. Brings up Hermansky. Gene has had a good series. He's 3 for 11. He's hitting .273. But he smashed 2 home runs and driven in 3. Fred deals. Line drive. Rizzuto is there. 2 out. Newcomb will hit. He's a good hitter. 2 for 3 in Game 2. A single, a double, and an RBI. And Sanford walked him. So Newcomb trots down to first. Full count fastball outside. And that brings up Pee Wee. Pee Wee's 0 for 1. Sanford is opening 9 on 37 pitches. 2 2/3 innings. A walk and a strikeout. Runner on first is Newcomb. Reese into right center field. Bauer will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Dodgers still don't have a hit. They lead their first runner on. We go to the 4th. New York 4, Brooklyn nothing. So Bauer, Sanford, and Rizzuto to face Newcomb. And Jack Banta is just staying loose out there. Carl Erskine could probably pitch later on in the game if need be. Pitch to Bauer. There's a fly ball. Popped up. Reese on the grass. 1 out. So here's Sanford. Fred is 0 for 1. If there is no baseball tomorrow, we'll have an exhibition game from the '84 season. The traditional start of the NFL season. It's the Cowboys hosting the Houston Oilers. Remember that? That's the one that Pat and John went to every year. We'll have that for you when the World Series is over. And if it does end today, we will have the Cowboys and the Rams in the regular season opener on Thursday. That was the Monday night game, the opening week of the season. So a double dip of the Dallas Cowboys if the Yankees win the World Series. And yes, we do root for the house in blackjack. Pitch to Sanford. There's a fly ball to left. Hermansky in the corner. Makes the catch, 2 out. So Newcomb is hanging in by the hair of his chinny chin. Opening 18 on 65 pitches. 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Scooter is 1 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. Now, if you don't want the Cowboys twice, then you better be rooting for the Dodgers, because if the Dodgers keep winning, we show the World Series. But, yep, the Yankees and the Cowboys in the same week. I will never tell you about my unbridled love for Notre Dame, by the way. Don't worry. Pitch to Rizzuto is a ground ball base hit right side. And now bring up Coleman with 2 out. Jerry has sacrificed, singled, scored, and stole a base. He stole 8, by the way, in real life. And so next week, regardless of which, our 84 football project gets underway in earnest. Tuesday and Thursday. And remember, for the football, 11:45 starting Thursday, if there's no Game 7. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I forget what time that is. So, we'll get it all figured out. Pitch to Coleman. Jerry hits a ground ball to Pee Wee. He goes to Robinson at the bag to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Yankees 4, the Dodgers nothing. So Ferrillo is 0 for 1. And so 2 new followers to the channel here on Twitch since we were with you last. Mikey1962, thank you very much. And I gotta say that this is the most adult name I think I've ever said on the channel. And we'd like to give a hearty welcome to Poopface McButtPants. I hope you enjoy the content. Yep, that's Poopface McButtPants. And that's why all of our content on YouTube is 13 plus. Ferrillo is 0 for 1. Ferrillo pops up. Coleman and Rizzuto by the bag at second. Phil's there, 1 out. Here's Snyder. Duke struck out his first time up. He's now 0 for 14 in this World Series. In the center field, DiMaggio going back, but will make the catch. You know, I was thinking that, Todd. It's probably Gardner with another account. I was thinking that. That is the ultimate sock puppet or alt account. Yes, Jamie, the Rhode Island McButtPants. Makers of the finest cranberry juice money can't buy. Here's Robinson. Jackie is 0 for 1. Jackie swings into center field. DiMaggio rides the Schwinn, and that will retire the side. The Dodgers are making this easy for the Yankees. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 5th. It is 4-0 New York. So DiMaggio, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Henrik and Berra here in the 5th. Yogi has driven in 2, and Gene Woodling has driven in 2. DiMaggio, ground ball. Newcomb snares it over to first, 1 out. Just got the glove up and it hit the ground. He knew he had to throw to first. Hodges was on the move. Bang, bang. That brings up Henrik. Tommy has walked twice and scored. There's a ground ball, base hit, right side. So again, Newcomb probably down to one more base runner. Here's Yogi Berra. Yogi is is 2 for 2. He is single, doubled, and driven in 2. He's now driven in 4 in this World Series. Campanella goes out to slow Newcomb down. Don deals. Yogi popped up, right side. Robinson. And Jackie makes the catch. 2 out. Brings up Gene Woodling. Gene is 1 for 2. Is driven in 2 on that single and struck out. So, much like Game 4, it looks like one bad inning may spell the Dodgers. But they got a ton of bagels on that board that need to put something on it. Pitch to Gene is a fly ball right field. Back goes Ferrillo to the track. No, off the top of the wall. That just hit the top of the wall. Henrik is going to round third. Ferrillo gathers it. He throws to the Robinson, and Henrik is safe. It's 5-0 New York. The wall saved a run. And Woodling is on with a double. And that will be it for Newcomb. Jack Banta coming in. 2 out in the 5th. The Yankees know where the champagne is. Banta is 24 years old. He went an inning and a third in Game 1. So Sanford pitched in Game 2. He must have relieved Eddie Lopez, as a matter of fact. So Banta, an inning and a third in Game 1. Allowed a hit. He walked 2 with the bases loaded to give a couple more runs to Joe Hatton. Banta 24, a fastball pitcher at 92, and a fly ball pitcher. And this is his game now. Bobby Brown is 0 for 2. Banta a righty. 5-0 Yankees. Pitch to Brown. Little ground ball behind the mound. Reese throws to first, and Bobby beats it out. That hit the mound and slowed it down enough for Pee Wee Reese to struggle with the play. And so it's runners on the corners, 2 outs for Hank Bauer, who is 0 for 2. Pitch to Bauer. Got him! But the damage is done. A run on 3 hits and no errors. The Dodgers are going to have to claw back like you would not believe. Halfway home in Game 5, it's the Yankees 5, the Dodgers nothing. It only took 90-some-odd broadcasts for me to get all this graphic stuff right. Retro Sports Network proudly presents Game 5 of the 1949 World Series. Today, live from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York, it is the American League champion New York Yankees and National League champion Brooklyn Dodgers, with the Yankees leading this best-of-7 series 3-1. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast in the world or on the web for your sports sim and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. I, of course, jinxed. Oh, great. Well, now we get the tiny small print. Jinxed myself on the graphics. If you join us late, the Yankees have ordered champagne. Yogi Berra with a single in the first to score Phil Rizzuto to make it 1-0 New York. Then they get 3 in the third. Yogi Berra's doubled home Jerry Coleman, and Gene Woodling signaled home 2 to make it 4-0. And then Woodling with a double in the fifth made it 5-0 New York, and that chased out Don Newcomb. So Newcomb, 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Jack Banta's game now, and Fred Sanford, again, the emergency starter. Eddie Lopat said he couldn't go, and Fred Sanford has thrown bagels and a walk through 4. And yep, this fiasco may cause Brooklyn to relocate. Here's Hodges. Gill is 0 for 1. The Dodgers had the best offense in the National League. Them and St. Louis could produce. Yeah, Lopat pulled a Scottie Pippen. I thought 3 days rest would be enough. When I pulled it up to do the slides for the game, he only could go 90 pitches and had an S. And so I wasn't touching Tommy Byrne with a 10-foot pole. So I went with Fred Sanford instead, and Sanford is pulling a Lou Gehrig right now. Pitch to Hodges is a fly ball to right. Bauer comes in, 1 out. And so if you had said bring in somebody on almost no notice to win you a World Series, I would have given the advantage to Newcomb on that. But Newcomb's day is done, and Sanford's headed for immortality. Campanella is 0 for 1. Roy into left field. Woodling going back. Gene makes a catch against the wall. Wow. The Goats are wearing their hats inside out. Here's Jorgensen. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Snyder. Line drive to Rizzuto, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 5. The Dodgers have picked the wrong time to leave their bats in the dugout. It's 5-0 New York. So Sanford is 0 for 2. Banta got him. A 1-2 fastball for strike 3. Banta is scheduled to bat second in the bottom half of the inning. I think it depends on what Hermansky wants to do. Rizzuto, by the way, 2 for 3. Phil has singled twice, scored, and struck out. There's a line drive to Robinson, 2 out. The Goats have eaten their hats. I hear one of them is looking for a Yankee uniform. Just saying. Coleman is 1 for 2. Jerry has scored and stolen a base. We don't want to jinx it because 5 runs is not insurmountable. But we're quietly asking for World Series MVP votes. You could go with Woodling today in his 3 RBIs, but I think Sanford, who's throwing a gem. But my vote right now would be Rashin, the 2-hitter he threw in that 1-0 game. Jack Banta does look like Bazooka Joe, doesn't he? I've said for most of the year, because the eyes aren't, he's got that lazy left eye or right eye. He looks like Aubrey Plaza's grandfather. Pitch to Coleman. Jerry, it's a ground ball to Robinson. Over to Hodges for the out, and that will retire the side. So, we played 5.5 here at Ebbets Field. It's 5-0 Yankees. So, Hermansky, Banta's spot, or Banta, and Reese to face Sanford here in the 6th. Fred deals. Hermansky into center field. That makes the decision easier on Banta. 1 out because Jack's going to bat. He's pitching well. Jack 109 on the real season with an RBI. The Dodgers haven't given up, but they need something besides a bagel on the board. Pitch to Jack. Here's a ground ball to first. Henrik, 2 out. To say that Sanford is pitching the game of his life would be an understatement at this point. Here's Pee Wee Reese. He's 0 for 2. The one base runner Sanford put on was Don Newcomb. Pitch to Pee Wee. Ball 4. So that's the second walk for Sanford. 19 batters deep, 72 pitches, 5 2/3 innings, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Here's Ferrillo. Carl is 0 for 2. Sanford deals. Ferrillo chops one down to short, deep in the hole. Rizzuto throws to first. Ferrillo is out. Oh, he's out. The Dodger faithful are not happy. But 6 innings for Fred Sanford. And you got so many bagels on the board, you can buy them by the dozen. If we go to the 7th, 5-0 New York. You're betting we don't get any Sanford reruns only on TBS? Wow. The closest we've ever gotten to this point in a World Series game, of course, in history, came 2 years ago. In 47, not that we did it, it was Floyd Bill Bevins who walked a bevy of batters, but took a no-hitter into the 9th. That wasn't a clincher. Here's DiMaggio. He is 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. Line drive. Hodges is there, 1 out. It'll be Henrik. Tommy has scored twice and walked twice with a single. The only game I've ever heard of where a team got a no-hitter and clinched a playoff spot was in 1986 when Mike Scott and the Houston Astros no-hit the San Francisco Giants to clinch the NL West. I don't think it's ever happened. It might have happened, obviously, in a softball tournament or a high school or NCAA. But in the majors, I think it's only happened once. Pitch to Henrik. Tommy strikes out. A 1-2 in there at the knees. And there's 2 out for Yogi Berra, who's 2 for 3. Yogi has singled, doubled, driven in 2, scored a run. Pitch from Banta. There's a fly ball left field. Hermansky will roach over. Made the catch, stretch time in the rain. 5-0 New York. So Duke Snyder leads off the bottom of the 7th. He is 0 for 15 on this World Series. Or in this World Series. Sanford starts the 7th. There's a line drive. Coleman's there, 1 out. And just like Jane, things are getting serious. Here's Jackie Robinson. He's 0 for 2. Yep, Bob Costas will be the studio host of the NLCS. Ryan Anderson, I think, will call it, Trifin. Because the NBA season starts earlier, and Ernie's better in the studio anyway. Ernie Johnson. Although Ernie's background is baseball, his father, of course, Ernie Johnson Sr., pitched for the Braves and called games for the Braves. Pitch to Robinson. Jackie, ground ball to third. Brown, 2 out. And that will bring up Gil Hodges. Gil is 0 for 2. Sanford deals. Struck him out. No runs. No hits. No errors. We go to the 8th. The Yankees need 6 outs to win the World Series. 5-0. So Woodling, Brown, and Bauer to face Banta here in the 8th. Woodling 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, driven in 3, and struck out. Pitch to Woodling. There's a fly ball right center field. Snyder rides the Schwinn. 1 out. Bobby Brown. He's 1 for 3 today, 1 for 7 on the series. The Yankees, of course, will, if you go back to real life, will win in 50, 51, 52, and 53. The Dodgers don't return to the World Series until 52. They make it back in 53. And, of course, next year was 1955. Pitch to Bobby. Struck him out. He got him to swing and miss on a fastball on a full count. And nope, yep, pretty much that's it. Here's Bauer. Hank is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Banta deals. Bauer into center field. Snyder moves over into left center and makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. The Yankees don't leave anybody on. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here. It is 5-0 New York. And so you got me in a rock and a hard place. I really don't want to say what's going on, but it is really starting to look like that this is the last game of this replay. And so if it is, I want to thank all of you who have watched from Christmas week on. This has been an interesting replay to do. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I know I'm not the world's best manager, but we're here to entertain and have fun, and hopefully we have done that. And so we'll announce the baseball project at some point in the near future, which one we're going to do. But this has been an excellent, excellent replay. And my God, the World Series, unless something happens in the next 6 outs, there will be no Game 6. So thank you so much. And now, let's just enjoy the rest of this one, shall we? Yep. They're chanting the word no hitter in the stands. Ted, thanks. Yeah, Ted Williams was a lousy manager too. I'd be curious to see how many of these games I actually won. As they like to say in Brooklyn, wait till next year in 1955, whatever comes there. The jinx is in. Campanella is 0 for 2. Sanford is kind of giggling up on the hill. Pitch to Campy in the left field. Back goes Woodling. 1 out. Dave Steeb says, I don't want to hear about your jinx. Let me tell you about mine. Spider Jorgensen is 0 for 2. There's a ground ball to first. Henrik will underhand it to Sanford. And there's 2 out. Now brings up Hermansky. My pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been fun to do. Oh, I think this is the 90th stream that we've done. There wasn't much talent on the Rangers in 73, although Woody Herzog did just as bad. And he replaced Williams in 73. Might have been the team. The only manager outside of Joe Torre, who was a good player, an all-star player in his own right, that I've seen, greatness doesn't necessarily lead to coaching. All I can think of is Larry Bird with the Pacers. He took the Bulls to 7 games one year in the conference finals. But beyond that, it's just tough. Gene Hermanski is 0 for 2. Sanford deals. Ball 4. And so Banta will get pinch hit for here. And who can hit a righty? Marv Rackley. Marv is 1 for 3 in this World Series as a pinch hitter. Hermanski on first. That's true, Mike Scioscia. Not a terrible former player. Catchers are usually good managers, though, so was Joe Torre. Sanford winds and deals. Rackley can't break the jinx. Brown better hurry, and he'll get him. And through 8 innings, it's amazing time here in Brooklyn. No runs, no hits, and no errors. The Dodgers have left 3 on. This isn't perfection, but it's close. So it'll be righty. Irv Palika comes in the game. He's pitched twice already in this World Series. 21 years old, fastball pitcher at 88. And a standard pitcher. He pitched 1 inning in Game 1 and walked a batter. And then 2 innings in Game 3. Allowed a hit and walked a batter. So 3 innings of relief, and a hit, and 2 walks. Sanford, the man of the hour, Rizzuto, and Coleman. 5 runs, 9 hits. No errors, and 6 left on for the Yankees. The Dodgers have stranded 3. And they are 1/2 inning away of everybody in the ballpark getting a bagel. Pitch to Sanford, who stays in the game, of course. Ground ball to third, over to first, 1 out. The great thing about doing these is you never know what storylines are going to develop. And when I saw, regardless of what happens in the next half inning, here's Rizzuto. He's 2 for 4. Phil has singled twice, scored, and struck out. When I saw that Lopat wasn't going to have enough rest, 7 people who might be call your friends and say there's a fake classic going on. When I saw that Lopat wasn't ready, I was disappointed. I knew it would take more work making slides. That's not what I was figuring. And so who am I going to... My 2 choices were Fred Sanford and Tommy Byrne. And I'm thinking, there's no way in hell that Casey Stengel would let Tommy Byrne pitch in this game. It was going to be Sanford all the way. Never in a million years would I have guessed this. Pitch to Rizzuto is a ground ball to short. Reese, 2 out. Here's Coleman. Jerry 1 for 3. A run scored, a stolen base. I've had 2 no-hitters before, and they've both been thrown by Yankee pitchers. Playing strategic baseball simulator, I did a College World Series style tournament of 1978. Top 8 teams, double elimination. And Catfish Hunter no-hit the Phillies. And Action PC, playing just 64 by myself. Jim Bouton, I think no-hit the Chicago Cubs, or the White Sox, in a regular season game. There. I can't jinx it any more than that, gang. Pitch to Coleman. There's a ground ball. It's going to get past Reese and leap in for a Texas leaguer. And that's the 10th Yankee hit. Joe DiMaggio is 0 for 3. A walk and a strikeout. I think Mr. Mike on his old channel had a no-hitter that was streamed. I don't know if Al's ever had one. Pitch to DiMaggio. Joe hits a base hit in the left center field. Coleman will, what? Try for third. Hermansky picks it up. The throw to Jorgensen is not in time. So runners on the corners for Henrik. Tommy is 1 for 2. He has scored twice, walked twice, and struck out. Al had, oh, that's right. Al had one with Digital Diamond, and Jamie watched Mike Snow. No, that was the Cubs, wasn't it? That wasn't Milt Pappas. Milt threw a real life no-hitter. Pitch to Henrik. Tommy hits a ground ball base hit left side. Coleman just puts that knife in the back of Dodger fans even more, and it's 6-0 New York. Yogi Berra is 2 for 4. He has singled, doubled, driven in 2, and scored once. By the way, for the Dodgers, Reese, Furillo, and Duke Snyder, who was 0 for 16 on the series. Pitch to Berra. Yogi hits that one to third. Jorgensen snares it, and here comes Fred Sanford. He is the loneliest man on this hard drive. Not even Yogi talked to him. By the way, a run on 3 hits and no errors. Bill Hands had Mike's no-hitter. Okay. A couple of one-hitters. I'm not sure I've ever had a cycle. If I did, I didn't realize it. So it's Pee Wee Reese. He is 0 for 2. The Dodgers, by the way, need 6 to tie and 7 to win. Sanford only averaged 3 1/3 innings per appearance during the actual regular season. Can he hold up for 3 more outs? He's only on 107 pitches. Mike just emailed Dave to let him know that this unicorn... This is crazy, isn't it? I mean, this is why we play these games. Mike had Dick Bosman take a no-hitter in the 9th, okay? So here we go. At 1:02 Eastern Time, this 24th day of August, 2021. Oh, can we get it? Sanford needs 3 outs. Reese is 0 for 2 with a walk. Fred deals. That's a base hit. So there's a single. That's the first hit. And there's a thunderous ovation for Sanford, who in faced 28 batters, 8+ innings, a hit, 109 pitches. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Joe Page is warming for the Yankees. Here's Furillo. Carl is 0 for 3. You're throwing Reese out of the Hall of Fame. Pitch to Furillo. Ground ball, base hit. The Dodgers heard enough no-hit talk. Reese will hold at second. And that brings up Duke Snyder, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Sanford deals. Got him! And so, would you believe that? 0 for 17, 1 out. Yeah, you never know. They got 2 outs. Here's Robinson, who's 0 for 3. Sanford wants to finish this. The crowd, after that hearty standing ovation, now is screaming jinx. Berra goes out to calm down his pitcher. Sanford from the stretch. Robinson, ground ball up the middle. Rizzuto. Coleman. Championship. Yankees win. The Yankees have won this in 5. 6, 4, 3. And just like in real life, 5 games, that's it. Don Newcomb had plus stuff. Fred Sanford gets the Corvette. He is your World Series MVP, a two-hitter. He carries a no-hitter into the ninth inning. And the Yankees, 6 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. Phil Rizzuto with a diving stop, an underhanded flip to Coleman to set up the double play, and that was it. 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Yankees. The Dodgers, 2 hits. Jack Banta, a tremendous 3 1/3 innings just to get this in. And yep, Fred Sanford, he found the big one. Her name may not be Elizabeth, but he's going to get a World Series ring, and he throws a 2-hitter. So the Dodgers at home, the last 2 games, over the last 18 innings, can't score a run. How about that? And so there you go. And 49, that was the jinx slide. I made that this morning. And 49, it's the Yankees. Cowboys, Oilers tomorrow. And for all of us who are involved in everything that Retro Sports Network do, the wife, Mr. Gardner, you guys especially, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll be back in December with our next baseball replay. Enjoy the football. And so long, everybody.